Hi, I'm Carla with a K, not a C, not relevant but relevant because it's my name and I would prefer you spell my name correctly, but if you don't really care for my name, that is fine. Alright, so I have recently just turned 20 and sorry, my knee is itchy. I recently just turned 20, which means I am another year wiser. And I decided to bestow some wisdom upon my peers and those younger than me. Please don't actually take me seriously because I can guarantee you I may be physically and legally a year older, but mentally, financially, and emotionally and everything above, I'm not really that much older. I'm still growing up, or attempting to at least. Anyways, if you have a uterus, or you have someone you care about that has a uterus, please stick around because if you want to help those who have uteruses, uteri, is the plural for uterus uteruses or uteri? That's irrelevant. I'll look that up later. Anyways, you want to stick around because we're going to be talking about an interesting topic that is very natural and normal. Periods. Let's go. So first things first, we're going to talk about how to handle your period. And I'm only speaking from my experiences. Of course, take your own experiences as well or those around you, but keep this in mind. Nobody knows your own body better than you do. Also, periods are different for everyone. That is right. But yeah. Second, we're going to talk about how to prepare for your very first period if you still haven't gotten your period yet, because you can get it anytime, any day. And third, we're going to be talking about the different types of products to use for your period. Alright, so here's the thing. Whether you identify as male, female, gender fluid, or non-binary, if you have a uterus, I can guarantee you more than likely you will get a period, so you will want to watch this if you haven't gotten your first period yet. Alright, so how do we handle them? So let's start with cramps. The best way to handle with cramps are painkillers, heat, and pressure. So painkillers, you can take any type of painkiller so long as you're taking the correct dosage, especially according to your weight. That is very helpful. A painkiller that I'd recommend is Midol, that is best suited specifically for period cramps, but of course you can use any type of painkiller that'll help you. Again, please read the label and take the correct dosage. Do not overdose. Please be careful. Heat. There's heating pads. There's microwavable heating pads and I have an electric heating pad. If you're using an electric heating pad, please be careful. Don't leave it on overnight. Don't use it for too long because there is risk for fire. But please be careful with electric heating pads. Pressure. The pressure usually comes from those microwavable heating pads because the microwavable heating pads tend to have a little weight to it. I don't get that weight from my electric heating pad because it's just like as thin as paper, essentially. Sometimes I use my cat on top of the heating pad and she is the pressure I need. But yeah, my cat makes for a good heating pad too. But yeah, so I would have to apply my own pressure for electric heating pads. But yeah, best thing to deal with cramps are painkillers, heat, and pressure. Also, I used to have cramps that were so bad that I would black out in the middle of class and I would have to be sent home early. Sometimes I wouldn't even be able to get out of bed and I wouldn't be able to move a single limb because I was in so much pain from my period cramps. If your period cramps are that painful that you can't even get out of bed or that you're blacking out of all things, that's not normal. I just knew that until recently, but that is not normal. If you're experiencing that, talk to someone older than you, maybe a mom, dad, sibling, someone that you trust that's older than you that has experience with periods. Talk to them, ask them if they can take you to a doctor, more specifically a gynecologist, because they are prepped to help you with your period. So yeah, don't be afraid about asking your gynecologist any questions. They are there to help you. Anyways, so that's kind of how to deal with period cramps. There's mood swings. Little fact about having mood swings. Our testosterone levels get a little higher than our estrogen levels when we get our periods. So the higher the testosterone levels, the more erratic our moods are. I know, fun. The best thing that I can tell you is just to take it in stride, especially if you don't have a period and you have friends or family that do have periods. Please sympathize with them. That's all I can really tell you. I had to burp, sorry. That's all I can really tell you. But yeah, but also don't let them be like jerks to you, or don't be jerks to people if you have the period yourself. But yeah, all I can say is just take those mood swings in stride the best that you can. Don't let it ruin your day. And with a diet, make sure you're eating healthily. Please drink a lot of water. Water will be your best friend. That'll help a lot. Chocolate also helps a lot. That sounds like a joke, but I'm serious. Chocolate is also your next best friend after water with your period. Sometimes you'll get cravings, sometimes you won't. Listen to those cravings the best that you can. Alright, second thing. Preparing for your first period. Okay, so you can get your period anytime. You can get it sometime in elementary, sometime in high school, sometime in middle school. Maybe you can get it sometime after high school. Who knows? It's different for everybody. Everyone experiences their period differently. Personally, I got mine in August of 2013. I was 12 years old. The reason I know when specifically is because I got it the weekend before the first day of 7th grade. And typically in this part of Texas, we start school in August, so that's why I remember it so vividly. I also remember crying and telling my mom to take my period back because I didn't want it. So that was memorable. Anyways, best way to prepare for your first period. If you were lucky to get it at night, great for you. All you gotta do is just change those bed sheets, wash them, take a shower so you can feel clean, and just make sure you wear a pad or a tampon, but I highly advise wearing pads for your first period. But if you know how to handle a tampon, good for you. For during the day, during school, maybe, what you want to do is, if you still haven't experienced your period yet and you're nervous about getting it in the middle of the day, what you want to do is carry pads in your backpack or locker along with an extra pair of underwear and bottoms, whether it be a skirt, pants, shorts. Maybe you want to change into a dress instead. Cool for you. Go ahead and do it. A little trick that I like to do even to this day is that I like to wear Spanx under absolutely everything when I'm on my period because it feels a lot more secure. Which, by the way, we'll get into security of pads soon enough. But yeah. And if you don't want to carry an extra spare of clothes, at least have a sweater on you at all times. That way it can prevent staining. Also avoid white clothes. I mean, you can try if you want to be risky, but I highly advise that you don't wear anything white when you're on your period. It is a pain to take out the stains. Anyways, yeah, that's basically what you need to do. Alright, product. One is the pad. This is a U by Kotex. That is the brand that I use. That is the brand I have been using since I was 12. You can also use tampons, and there are period underwear, which is very exciting. I think that's really cool. I've been trying to find a pair for myself. So pads are just simple. You just stick them to your underwear. Some have wings, some don't. I prefer the ones with wings. And there's different brands. There's different purposes for pads, like heavy flow and so forth, night, day, sports. Find the one that is right for you. Same thing goes for tampons. With tampons, I personally don't like them, mainly because of the fact that I am paranoid. Why is paranoia tied in with tampons? I will explain. So there's this thing called toxic shock syndrome. If you leave your tampon in for too long, you can get toxic shock syndrome, which is very dangerous. The reason I'm paranoid is because I am a very forgetful person, and I'm scared that eventually I will forget that I have a tampon in, and I will forget to take it out. So that's why. Also, when you use a tampon, it is never supposed to be uncomfortable or painful. It should feel nice. It should feel like it's not even there. So if it feels painful or uncomfortable when you first have it in, you might want to take it out and use them. Try again, because it shouldn't feel like that. It should feel like it's not even there. Period underwear. Alright, so this is what I was talking about with security. So apparently I've heard with period underwear, it feels absolutely secure, as if like nothing, like it prevents leaking. It's amazing. I highly suggest you get a pair for yourself. It's also very sustainable, which is great, and I'm really into that. If you don't want to each their own. Do what feels comfortable for you. Always put yourself first when you are having your period. No one knows your body better than... Did I say butter? No one knows your body better than you do, so do what's best for you. That's all I have to say. There's also panty liners. This isn't really more tied with periods all that much, but it still has to do with it. It's usually typically used for spotting, which usually comes before or after your period, and that's pretty normal, but it's different for everyone. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about having a period. That'll be helpful to you. This is just more from my experience. Make sure you learn for yourself too. I'll also have some links for what toxic shock syndrome is, and where you can get period underwear, and any helpful information that you can learn about your period if you're not exactly sure where to start if you haven't had your period yet. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. So a little recap. With cramps, there's painkillers, heat, pressure. That's going to be your best friend. Drink a lot of water. Chocolate will also be your best friend. Always carry an extra change of clothes if you still haven't gotten your first period yet, along with pads. And if not, no extra change of clothes, make sure you have a sweater on you at least. Wear no white. And for period products, there is period underwear, pads, tampons, and panty liners. Make sure you know how to use them. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Bye.